Good Monday morning, everybody. Hey, we're going to start a new series this week, as we always do. Really excited about this. One of my favorite disciples to learn from, to remind myself every single day through my trials, through my mess ups, that God can use flawed people. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about this week the life of Peter, the 5 things I think that we can learn from the life of Peter. But day one is God can use flawed people. Let's go to Matthew chapter 4 really quick. We're going to look at verses 19. And this is Jesus calling his first disciples. He saw the 2 brothers, Simon and Peter. And he said, verse 19, "Come follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." Verse 20 says, "At once they left their nets and followed him." Here's 2 men that made a living by fishing. That's how they paid their bills. That's how they paid their dues to the Roman soldiers, to Caesar. And God, or Jesus, and God in the flesh said, "Come follow me." And you got to think, maybe there was a moment of, who is this? But I know deep down inside they knew, because they dropped their nets at once, their means for making a living, and they followed Jesus, and they became his first 2 disciples. And Jesus in that moment knew that Simon, that his brother Andrew were messy men, yet he said, "I choose you to follow me. I pick you to be my disciples." Little did they know that they would, Peter especially, would be the one that would go on to write books of the New Testament, would be the one to preach on the day of Pentecost. So many things that Jesus used that man for, even after denial, which we'll talk about this week. So Matthew 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul says this, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness." Paul knew that even in his weakness, God was going to use him. Paul even knew that no matter what he'd done, no matter what he'd been through in the past, Jesus was going to use him to share the gospels to the Gentiles and the Jews alike. I wrote this down. Regardless of our past, if we are willing to be used by God, he will use you, whether it be in a small platform or a large platform. But I don't believe there's size when it comes to the kingdom, because the Bible says, "Go and make disciples. Share the gospel, share my love," Jesus said, "to all. Give them the picture of salvation." There you go. I was trying to think of the word and trying to paint a picture myself. But Paul was saying, even in my weakness, God was going to use me. Think about Moses, had a speech problem. Think about David, a murderer and adulterer. Think about Peter, a hothead, denied Christ 3 times. Think about Paul, would persecute and murder Christians because they were preaching this gospel, yet he was transformed on that road to Damascus. Think about Samson, a man, adultery, disobeying God in so many different ways. And the list goes on and on and on throughout the Bible of these mentors that we can look at and realize that, man, no matter what my past held, Jesus can use me if I give my heart to him and fully devote myself. Guys, this week as we study the life of Peter, we're going to talk about 4 other topics that I think are very important to help us understand that no matter what we've done, the shame is a lie from the enemy. No matter what we've done, Jesus has a purpose for us. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.